Originally, I'm from Bulgaria, and I came to Canada in 1997, and I was working for a company because my background is I'm an environmental engineer in terms of mechanic and involved in the mining industry. And 1998, 1999, I was sent to China, for a pilot plant project. And this was the first time I saw the electric bikes. And a couple of years later, it didn't work anymore for this company. We had some conflicts with the boss. So I decided to start the company with electric bikes because I was fascinated by the idea, because electric cycles are not only environmental, but they're reducing the congestion, that you can go much faster than the traffic, and it's a very good addition for the city commuting. So I got my first container in 2002. So we were going with my wife every weekend to the parks and demonstrating the scooters to show the people, and everybody was excited. Everybody say, wow, but no sales. We're suffering for 5-6 years until we went to break even because of two reasons. First of all, the quality initially was really poor. We were changing manufacturer after manufacturer. We were going from different factory, it's to find that we meet the same problem. And the second one was the perception of the people. People were not ready for electric. There was no electric cars at that time. The only electric things on the road, actually not on the road, but on the sidewalk, was the handicap electric scooters. So people were starting associating everything electric that we sell with these handicap scooters. And the worst thing I would hear was when customers were coming and I said, oh, this is a great idea. When I get older, I'll come and buy one. And the things actually started picking up when the first electric car came. It's electric Tesla Roadster was the first car that came in 2007, 2008. And then after that, they started coming one after another. Well, of course, Tesla was the company that actually leads the parade. And then the perception of the people started changing. They realized that the electric actually is not something exotic or something for handicapped people, but it's quite practical. There was no lithium battery also at the beginning when we were starting. So we were only working with a lead acid battery, heavy batteries, nickel metal hydride batteries, not very practical. And then 2008, 9, 10, we started getting our bicycles with a lithium battery. The quality of the production improved, and we actually went and break even 2008. But even with break even, it was hard because it's kind of a seasonal business here in Canada. We don't sell all around the year. It's until the end of October, the sales dries up, and they start coming up in March, April. So we were making money in the summer, but they were disappearing in the winter. But at least we were floating. So we were not sinking anymore. So that was the breakthrough point.
What were your first challenges when you saw the light at the end of the tunnel?
I told you about the perception of the people because this is the mentality, is the hardest thing to change. It takes time. In the beginning, when we were starting selling electric bikes, people said, that's ridiculous, electric bike, this is cheating, this is something that will not take off, and this is ridiculous. And it's elderly people were thinking that they are for old people, but they didn't want to impair their dignity. So we would have like a probably 80 years old guy come and say, hey, when I get older, I'll come and buy one, because he didn't want to be seen riding something that helps him riding. And the young generation was actually the driving market force, because in Europe, after 2010, the bikes became so much popular that in 2012, 13, 14, they actually exceeded the sales of the regular bikes. And the electric bikes actually saved the cycle industry, because the 2013 and 14 was the lowest sales for the last 40 years of regular bikes, but the electric bikes actually saved the industry. And who was the driving force? The young generation. They realized that these bikes are actually quite practical. They go faster to work. They don't go sweaty in their office. And if they actually want to exercise, they just cut the motor off and they pedal them. So these bikes, it's not necessarily that you use the motor all the time. So this motor, you use it when you need it. Of course, if you're lazy and you go with the throttle and the motor all the time, it's a different story, but it's up to personal point of view. So in Europe, the sales started picking up. At the same time, I went to the bike shops 2013, maybe 6 years ago, and I had my electric bikes, and I said to the bike shops, hey, we have electric bikes, do you want to sell some? And everybody was saying, no, we don't want to touch electric bikes. We're good with our bikes. Now, if you look at the advertisements, actually the first line of advertisement of the bike shops, the regular bike shops, is we sell electric bikes. And what happened? Because we are a company that we are no one. We created our brand, and nobody was trusting us. What kind of brand is that? The bike shops, they started ordering prominent brands like a Trek, like some Vinci or whatever, prominent brand. But it happened after some of them started carrying this prominent brand. We went to their shop and we said, would you mind to try our bikes? They tried them and they said, how come your bikes are more powerful and are quieter? And I said, okay, well, we sell bikes for about 10 years. These guys, they just started selling bikes. They are good brands, but it doesn't mean that their electric bikes are better than ours. And they were capitalizing on their brand name, and that's why they're like electric bikes now that they are like a 5, 6, 7, and even there is electric bikes that are $15,000 per bike. It's a crazy price, and there are still people buying them. Of course, the bikes, the good companies are making them. They're much better than they used to be. But we couldn't establish a good name because I was very obsessed and concentrated from the technocratic point to get good quality bikes, good performance, and we didn't pay that much attention on the marketing. So that was our mistake. We didn't do too much effort marketing our brand, and many other brands, they went ahead of us because they concentrated on the marketing. They put all their efforts on marketing. They spent a lot of money, and eventually inferior bikes started selling much better than our bikes because the people, they didn't have like a reference point at that time because this industry is something new. So they couldn't compare the bikes that with inferior bikes that they came with anything else because it was new on the market. And they embraced whatever was advertised as the best product. And some company, they went internationally, and we were just sitting at the point of of our technology, better bikes, but people were not buying them because nobody knew about us. And now the bicycle market is saturated because we get like 100 of companies making electric bikes, and many of them are good. But we learned from that lesson, and our company going into the more serious cycle market, the motorcycles. Motorcycles is something different. Now it's finally, well, the battery technology is still improving, but this is the first thing that it actually started pushing up the motorcycle market. The technology improved, the motor improved, the battery improved, and learn from that lesson, we are now putting our marketing efforts into the motorcycle business because now it's happening the same phenomenon. I'm going to the motorcycle shops and they said, no, we don't want to sell electric. We sell only gas ones, But I know it's going to happen the same thing like it happened with electric bicycles, because we have already seen that a motorcycle manufacturers like a Ducati, Triumph, like Husqvarna, they already, like Harley Davidson, not to mention Zero that has been already established on the market. I'm sure that sooner than later the electric bikes, motorcycles will start pushing up, and they will, I wouldn't say replace the gas one, but they will have like the same, they'll become as famous as the electric cars became. But the most exciting point is that it's the governments, the politicians, the institutions, they realize, you know, we're at the edge point that we have to take some measurement for the environment. And we have in British Columbia, we're lucky that we have like a 35% rebate.